Hello, everyone. It is Briximus Prime, and I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I'm gonna keep this very brief. I'm not gonna make this go as long for an hour like I previously have done in the past with live stream unboxings. But sorry, just double checking that everything looks good on the YouTube and making sure that my actual live stream is. Yep, there it is. Okay, we're good. We're good. Fantastic. Okay, just double checking. Okay, so I've got two packages. I've got one right here from Big Bad Toy Store, and I have another one back here. But the problem is, it's one of those Hasbro shipper boxes that has the thing on, said on the front. So just to build up the anticipation just a little bit more, I'm gonna, have that one at the end, just so that even though this one is the one that came later, like usually I open them in order of the order that they came in the mail, but I'm gonna put that one back there just to build up the anticipation a little bit more because they already kind of spoil it from the get-go. So, hey, Inktastic. I think this is the first time someone aside from Firewall has been the first one on here. So, hi. But yeah. So yeah, I've got two packages. Again, I'm not going to make this live stream go on for very long because I've got other stuff going on, but I'm eager to open these boxes and I want to open them on the live because again, it's also been a long time since I was consistently doing live stream unboxings, and so this is the first time I'm kind of getting back into it, and so I wanted to do another one, no matter if it's a short one or not. But hi, Inktastic, how are you doing? I'm doing pretty good because again, got mail. So yeah, I don't really have any channel updates per se, just that I'm keeping up with reviews and everything. I just got my review up on the Age of the Prime's Prima Prime. I just got his review uploaded like a couple hours ago on YouTube. So that's all good to go. I have been doing really good with I've actually been doing really good with uploading this week. I uploaded 4 videos. Normally I'm like falling behind and I'm only barely able to get 1 video out every week. I got 4 out this week. I got a toy hunt out. I reviewed the Age of Extinction Studio Series Prime. I also got my video out on my TFCon video vlog toy hunt thing. And then I just got the Age of the Prime's Prima Prime review out today. Like I've been on fire this week. Also, I'm joined by a special guest down here. Oh, this is Jack. He's my cat. Anyway, if you've been on my channel for a while, he should be familiar. He's appeared on some reviews pretty often, actually. Actually, I'm gonna recreate the queso meme. Kitty! Anyway, he's annoyed. I love that clip from Queso where he's like, Kitty! He has his cat in front of the camera. Anyway, also you mentioned Scrapper. That is really awesome. I love Scrapper. I actually unboxed him in the last live stream unboxing. Yeah, I actually really like Scrapper. I need Bone Crusher is what I need. I still need Bone Crusher, but yeah, I really like Scrapper. He's actually one of my favorites of the Constructicons. He's always been one of my top favorites, and so even if I wasn't going to collect the whole combiner, this still would have been a figure I would have bought, but of course I'm getting the combiner. But yeah, I really like Scrapper, and I'm kind of glad that I got him first because now in the time leading up to getting the full combiner, I can enjoy this guy by himself before he ends up being part of the combiner. But yeah, I still need Bone Crusher. Haven't had a lot of luck in finding him, but hopefully, because for some reason a bunch of my stores just got back to back of a bunch of new stuff, and then like shortly after that, I kept going back, and I just couldn't find anything. Couldn't find Megatronus. Couldn't find the Grimlock. Couldn't find Red Alert. Obviously, I have Prima already, but I still have never seen him in store. I only got him because I ordered him online. And then I also I've never seen Bone Crusher, like I mentioned. I've never seen Q, the Dark of the Moon Wheeljack. And I've never seen Age of Extinction Prime in person yet either, or the Shockwave reissue or the Overload reissue. Like, there's a bunch of figures I still have not seen, but it's just because they're like, I just don't know. My stores had a bunch of stuff, and then they just went really dry, like all of a sudden. But maybe I just need to be patient or something. But I'm going to be toy hunting again next week, and so hopefully I'll start seeing more stuff. Oh, I guess one update I can make real quick before we get into the first box. Let me just pull it up here really fast. I did recently acquire something that I did want to share. Hang on. Give me 1 second. I'm going to share my screen here real quick. Share screen. So, real quick, the Transformers Legacy HasLab Lio Kaiser Combiner HasLab ended with 23,553 backers, which means technically they should be giving us an extra backer goal with how many people we got for the HasLab. But I was one of the backers who backed this thing. It's a combiner from the Transformers Victory Japanese series. And they've made updates since then, so technically these images are not the final product. They've made a lot of changes or whatever because this was an early draft of the toy. But yeah, as you can see, we got all 3 of the tiers. There was an entire extra figure as the first one. Then we got some accessories with this one. It was a pair of nunchucks that the figure had. And then we got some flight stands with this one. And, we unlocked all 3. And, there's different members of the combiners, such as Lio Kaiser, Guy Hawk. There's also they call him L-Bat, but it's supposed to be Hell-Bat. But apparently, according to designer Evan, Hell-Bat was actually apparently that was under copyright with somebody. I guess G.I. Joe or someone had it. Oh, hi Firewall, by the way. I'm doing pretty good. I have 2 packages I'm about to open, and then I was just showing off the Lio Kaiser HasLab because I did back it, and I'm really excited for it next year. But yeah. Then there's also Jaguar or just Jaguar. Like, it's actually really funny how they pronounce his name on here. They have it as Jaruga. Jaruga. But yeah, he looks really awesome. And then there's Kill Bison. And then there's Drillhorn. Drillhorn also looks pretty good as well. And then that extra figure that was part of the backer goal was Death Cobra. Death Cobra was a character who only appeared very briefly in Transformers Victory. Basically, he was just So Hellbat got injured in one of the missions that they went on, and he forms the left arm of the Lio Kaiser. And what happened was, since he was injured, they got Death Cobra as a replacement member for him until he recovered. But because Hellbat was worried that he was going to get replaced, he killed off Death Cobra after he fully recovered, and he basically was just like, "You outlived your usefulness," and he killed him because he was an a-hole and he didn't want to be replaced. But anyway, that's all that I have to say about the HasLab. I'm pretty excited for the HasLab because again I backed it. So, but also I did also want to mention another HasLab I did also back was the I did also back the Omega Prime HasLab, and so sometime in the hopefully near future, I'll be doing a live stream unboxing on that guy as well. I'll have him come in the mail. I'll do a big, just like this. I'll do a live stream unboxing of me unboxing Omega Prime. But yeah, that's pretty much it for that. But anyway, let's get into the first box, which is right here. And as you can see, I have my pop filter purposefully in the way to block the text that's on the box so you guys can't see what's on it. But because again, I want to tease the anticipation just a little bit more. Also, I'm going to lower my camera because this seemed to work out pretty well last time. This seemed to work out pretty well last time where I had the box kind of down this way so you guys can actually see the figure and me unboxing it. So, though doing this, though, I can't really see the chat very well from this angle. I'm so disappointed when Marvel Legends Spider-Man Unlimited, he didn't paint face black. That's a disappointment. Spider-Man Unlimited? Hellbat. Hellbat is also the name of a Batman armor that, funny enough, Bruce himself never wore. That might also be another reason why they couldn't get the copyright for the Hellbat name, because it probably is also DC probably currently has the active. It's either G.I. Joe or DC that currently have the copyright on it. But like currently right now, someone has the copyright for the name Hellbat, and so they couldn't use it for the HasLab. But we all know what he's supposed to be, so that's why they just went with L-Bat. They literally just took the H out at the beginning, and everyone still calls it Hellbat, even though, you know, it says otherwise on the box. But yeah. But yeah, Marvel Legends, I've been kind of having a love-hate relationship with recently. So I haven't really been buying a whole lot from them, but there's still a few that I'm looking forward to. I'm thinking about maybe getting that ROM Space Knight, and there's a couple others, but there he is. Wasp. Or Waspinator. I just keep calling him Wasp because that's what he's called in animated. Because technically he doesn't take the name Waspinator until he evolves into the, you know, the robot mode that actually turns into the actual wasp. Also, Big Bad Toy Store sticker. But yeah, we've got Wasp. He looks pretty good. I like the greens and everything, and I know some people were not really looking forward to this release. Some people were kind of iffy on it, but I'm actually really excited for this figure because I'm a big fan of Beast Wars, and I've always been obsessed with the idea of the Beast Wars characters with like G1 looking designs / like their Cybertronian alternate modes before they got the Beast modes. And I feel like this is a really good figure that kind of does that for Waspinator. So now I've got a Waspinator that can go in I have Predacon Waspinator where he turns into the Wasp and he goes with my Beast Wars. This guy is going to be Decepticon Waspinator who goes into my Decepticons. Plus, he's also labeled as a Decepticon on here. But yeah, Fugitive Waspinator. Again, I just call him Wasp just for simplicity's sake because that's what he was called in the show until he evolved into Waspinator. But yeah, I was actually looking forward to this guy. But Hasbro made an Unlimited Spider-Man figure, and the face lacked the black paint that the animation had. Fix with the Gundam marker. Oh yeah, I know the one you're talking about. It came on the retro card, and yes, I know exactly the figure you're talking about. I saw that figure, and I was surprised it looked so plain looking. It was missing all those highlights of black and whatnot. You know, like I know exactly the figure you're talking about. It's based on that 90s Spider-Man Unlimited figure. I've seen that figure around in my toy hunts. Yeah, I think I'm going to open this guy out of the box, but I'm not going to transform him because I want to get into the other box here soon, but I'll at least get him out of the box. You know, at least get him started. I won't Also, by the way, I should also mention, I do not own the animated Bumblebee. I actually skipped on animated Bumblebee because I found it kind of unremarkable, to be honest. I still think it's a good toy because I've handled the toy and I still think it's a good toy. It's just for me and my personal preferences when it comes to Bumblebees, I just was kind of turned off by it because it just felt like it didn't do anything really different. Like, it's like if I really wanted an animated Bumblebee, I might as well have just went and bought the OG animated Bumblebee toy. You know what I'm saying? So like, I didn't really bother buying that figure, but that being said, this is now my way of kind of owning the mold. This is my first time actually owning this mold. So, and I'd much rather have it as this figure than Bumblebee, but Yeah, obviously he's a little small. I know some people complained with that, but I still paid for it, so it's whatever. I'm not too mad about it. I already knew what I was getting into when I ordered it, so. But yeah, it's like I completely understand though everyone's complaints about some of the animated designs, because it's like, again, they keep redesigning the Transformers animated figures, but it's like, just reissue the originals, please, because like some people, that's all some people want is just the OG animated toys, but Hasbro keeps on making these redesigned whatevers. But what the heck is that? Oh yeah, I forgot he came with these. I was wondering why he had so many accessories. I forgot he came with these. So I thought he just came with the little stingers. I completely forgot that he comes with the little rocket pack thingies. I completely forgot he had those. Well, that's a pleasant surprise, I guess. It won't come out of the little tissue paper. This tissue paper stuff really pisses me off with the accessories now. I understand why they did it, but it doesn't mean I agree with it. It still pisses me off, but it made this unboxing of the figure take a little longer than I was hoping, so. And again, I already know how to transform this guy, so I don't need to bother looking at the instructions or anything. But anyway, that's him. New Age of the Primes figure added to my collection. Let me just give him the stingers just real quick before I move on. How do I do this? How do you give him the stingers? Oh, you had to rotate his hands in that way. Okay, that was interesting. But yeah, hang on. What are the comments right now? Yeah, hope Hasbro makes an animated Waspinator. They could also make an animated Inferno out of him and his black repaint. Yep, I could totally see that. Yeah, I could totally see that. Anyway, there's his stingers. He's got the stingers on, and then let me put those rockets on him, and then we'll move on. These little rocket packs on his back. I love the shade of purple they used for this window. It looks a little dark on camera, but it looks really good in person. I love the shade of purple they used. I'll talk about it in the review when I eventually do it, but you can't really see it in this lighting because it looks black on camera. But anyway, there's the Waspinator. Let's move on to the other box. So, again, once I reveal what's on the box, it's going to be no surprise what's in it. So I'm just going to do that. But yeah, it just says Hasbro. You guys can read that, so you kind of already know what's in here now. But let's get it open. I've been looking forward to this. In the words of Count Dooku, I've been looking forward to this. Which, speaking of Revenge of the Sith anniversary, I am very excited for that. Though, for some reason, movie theater tickets have not gone up for it yet. Which is really weird. Because it comes out literally in like less than a month. And they don't have tickets out for it yet. There's the shipping information. Get that out of here. Oh, yes. Whoa. He's very big in person. Oh, finally. He looks so beautiful. Megatronus Prime, also known as the Fallen. I have been looked at. This has probably been my most anticipated figure of the year, and he is finally here in my hands. Now, I know he started showing up at Target, but that was after I already ordered him. And yeah, so that kind of pissed me off a little bit. But again, if I had just waited like a couple of days before ordering this, I would have heard the news about him showing up at Target, and I could have stopped myself from ordering this. And then, but by the time the news came out that he was showing up at Targets, it already had shipped, and it was too late to cancel the order and refund my money. So I was just like, it's whatever, I guess. I guess I just paid retail instead of, or I paid a little over retail instead of at retail, but it's whatever. I still got him. That's the point. I'm still happy to have him, and I'm not unhappy with what I paid. It's just, it was just a missed opportunity that passed me by. Obviously, I'm already getting into unboxing him. I don't care. I just want to get him out of there right now. Also, just like Waspinator, I'm not going to bother trying to transform him on camera. I'm just eager to just get him out of the box and then move on. But, oh, yes. I love how big he is. He's like Studio Series 86 Grimlock big, which actually, funny enough, look at how small Wasp is compared to him. Look at that. Look how big he is. That is insane to me. Oh, man, he looks so good. Oh, hang on, I dropped his instructions. Like I said, I'm going to bother with these after the live stream. But anyway, Wasp was never a Decepticon in animated, did he? Yeah, he was. There were no Predacons in animated. They were just Decepticons. Even Black Arachnia was just labeled as a Decepticon. She only ever had the Decepticon insignia. So even Waspinator was just labeled as a Decepticon. But yeah, we've got Megatronus Prime. So let's get him out of there. So we've got, give me 1 second. We got a piece of his staff weapon right there. We've also got his big old sword over here. His big old, jeez. His big machete sword right there. That looks beautiful. There's the Requiem blaster. It's a big gun. Oh, the Requiem blaster, and it has Megatronus Prime's logo up there on the top. It's not focusing. Fantastic. He's got more accessories in the tissue paper again. What the F? But yeah, this should have his fire effects, of course. Woo! Those look beautiful, by the way. These are like Marvel Legends quality of blast effects. Got an extra barrel piece for his tank mode cannon. Another flame piece. What else is in here? Should be a couple more flame bits. Yep, there's another one. And then there should be an extra bit for the staff piece. There's the other flame bit. And then where is that other piece? Come on. Yeah, there we go. There's the extra bit to his staff, the actual blade piece. And there's something else in here. What is that? Oh, I didn't realize this was a separate piece. He has a little rocket launcher pod thingy. I didn't realize that was a separate piece on him. I thought that was actually built into him. But yeah, let's get this man out of here. Free him from his prison. Ugh, I must free him. Need my model kit nippers. Which, by the way, I should also mention, I do have another model kit unboxing or a model kit building live stream coming up later, and so I'm going to be using these a lot. But just letting you guys know, that's going to be coming up in like early April. But yeah, let's back on Megatronus. Let's get him the flip out of there. He's got something stuck. Yes. You move that all over there. Oh, yes. Also, his chest is not fully flushed and tabbed in for some reason. I'm checking to see what's misaligned. This tab on his chest is not going in for some reason. There we go. Oh, dang. So let's put the rocket launcher on his shoulder. So now he's got the rocket launcher up there. He's got this little sensor right there on that shoulder, which again, these can rotate and move all over the place. So you can adjust those. Yeah, dang, he is so cool. I noticed his knee swivels are a little loose for my taste, but yeah, everything else feels nice, tight, buttery smooth. Nothing feels like it's gonna break. He's got butterfly joints in here. What the hell? What the hell? Also, the paint on him also looks really good. I've heard some people say that there's been some quality control QC issues here and there on some of theirs, like there's scratches or paint mishaps or stuff like that. But no, this guy looks great. Also, let's put the Requiem blaster on his arm, and then let's get those flame effects on him as well. Let's get the full look going. Okay, flame effects, and then these go back here. And then this bit, I think, just goes... Oh, yeah, it has a hinge in it. It's like a Megatron cannon bit. Let's put and then let's put these weapons in his hands. Which way does this go on? Oh, it's right there. It aligns perfectly with that little bit right there. And then this just slides into his fist. Cool. All right, look at that. Yes. Megatronus Prime. Finally. Oh my gosh, I have been wanting a Megatronus figure of this Dreamwave Productions comic book design for so long, and it's finally here, and I'm really happy with that. Also, I like the lore implications of having this suppressor on the Requiem blaster. Just because I like the lore reasoning that people have provided behind just keeping it on there. Basically, the Requiem blaster is so powerful that he has to have the suppressor on, or else he's going to accidentally blow up a whole planet in the process. So, because the Requiem blaster can do that, by the way. But yeah, he looks great. He's really big, really not here. Let me get a slightly better size comparison between him and Wasp. Just look how small he looks, like a mini con compared to this guy. Like, what the? Yeah, he looks fantastic. Transformers equivalent of Lucifer turning into a tank somehow feels underwhelming. Underwhelming? Technically, this guy isn't supposed to be Satan. That would technically be Unicron. I don't think the tank mode is underwhelming. G1, the Fallen is taller. Age of Extinction Optimus Prime. Yes, he is. He is much taller than Age of Extinction Prime. Look at that. Look how much... He's not even just taller. He's like full-on like chunkier than he is. Like he's got it. Like he feels heavier than this guy does. Like, yes, that Age of Extinction Prime has engineering, but this one has the girth. Imagine if Megatronus turned into something more abstract along the lines of like biblically accurate angels. Though I understand most people wouldn't care for that. If I was to choose something for Megatronus, I would have probably had him transform into like some sort of demonic looking Cybertronian, Unicronian looking like jet mode maybe, but I don't mind the tank mode, because the reason why he has the tank mode is because that was what the original Dreamwave Productions designed transformed into. And again, that character of the Fallen in the old Dreamwave Productions comic books, that character predates even the concept of the 13 Primes. This character existed before the 13 Primes. It's just when Hasbro created the concept of the 13 Primes, they were like, hey, remember that character from the old comic books in 2004? Let's have him be one of the Primes. That's the reason why this guy, you know, seems slightly more, like, I guess mortal, I guess is the concept, why he seems a little bit more mortal, because again, this was something that existed before the primes, and then they shoehorned him into being one of the primes. But yeah. I love the furnace-y look. I love the head sculpt. I personally think it's all fine. Plus, again, you also have to imagine his tank mode is capable of destroying planets. So, I mean, he's literally a moving Death Star. So, that kind of puts it into perspective, doesn't it? But, yeah, that is basically it for this live stream unboxing. Like I said, I didn't want to take too long with this one. But, there is Megatronus Prime. I'm really happy to finally have him in my hands. Again, I did also get Wasp. And again, because I have this figure, I'm probably going to try and get the review out on this guy pretty soon. So anticipate on this review coming out sometime very soon. Again, I just got Prime of Prime's review out. Be sure to go and check that one out if you haven't yet. I have Age of Extinction Optimus Prime's review out if you haven't seen that yet. And then I've got multiple other reviews planned ahead. It's just, again, I want to prioritize this guy over others. And I'm just trying to think, was there any other points I missed? Not really. That's pretty much everything. But yeah, anticipate more videos coming out. And again, go back and watch any of the videos you haven't seen yet, or ones that I just put out recently. And yeah, that is basically it for this live stream unboxing. From the figures I've gotten lately, Bricks, how does Marvel Legends plastic compare to Transformers plastic nowadays? Marvel Legends plastic feels slightly more, I guess, like malleable and like, hang on, let me actually move the camera up. It feels slightly more like malleable, like almost has a very slight rubbery texture to it, as opposed to these guys where they feel a little bit more rigid and solid. Like, actually, funny enough, it feels kind of like these blast effect pieces. These blast effect pieces almost feel like they have a slight tangible rubbery texture to them, and I feel like Marvel Legends, at least some Marvel Legends, kind of feel like that now, where this guy feels a lot more rigid and, you know, very, very built. Like, he feels like a very, like, well put together toy, especially this toy specifically. But yeah, all in all, that is it for this live stream unboxing. Thank you all for joining on, and I'll catch you guys next time. And again, go check out any of my other previous videos. Thank you all for joining me on the live. And yeah, like I said, catch you guys next time.